What's going on, everybody? Hope you all are having a fantastic day today. Now, today we're going to be checking out the Val gameplay once again. I know, Modern Warfare sauce over on shipment. I just wanted to use this gameplay because I thought it was actually extremely good. We did lose. I will give you guys a little spoiler here. We lost the game, but it's because I just didn't play OBJ the whole time. I was literally just trying to get a nuke to win the game because my teammates weren't really that amazing. So I knew the only way I could possibly win is if I get a nuke. And I almost did actually near the end, but sadly the time was running out and I wasn't able to get my nuke in time. But I still sauced up the team. I still got tons of streaks, tons of kills. I think you guys are still going to enjoy the gameplay. But sadly, again, I have to give you guys some negative news about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I know, like I said, I do have tons of positive things I want to say about this video game. Because personally, I love the video game. You know, I don't hate this game. I think it's good. But I have to keep it honest with you guys at all times. That's something that I really take pride in with this channel, is giving my 100% opinion each time something happens. Even if my opinion changes 5 times during the course of 1 year, I'm not going to lie and try to stay consistent. I'm going to tell you guys how I feel in the moment. And apparently, according to this article from Games Radar, but I think it originally came from Charlie Intel, there's going to be only 8 maps that release with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Now, you guys know my opinion about Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This video game released with 7 6v6 maps and I believe 2 10v10 maps, so altogether about 9 maps altogether. So 1 more compared to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. But the difference between Modern Warfare and Black Ops Cold War is that the 8 maps go across the full board. 12v12, 6v6, everything that you play in that game will be on the 8 maps, compared to Modern Warfare, where technically, if we're just talking about 6v6, there's only 7 maps, so 1 less than Cold War, and then 2 specific maps for 10v10. It's very confusing, I know, but let's just say that they're basically both released with the same amount of content. And if that's the case, I'm insanely scared for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, because in the beginning of Modern Warfare's life cycle, this was the #1 issue for me. I hated every single one of the maps that released with this video game. They were all complete utter garbage. There was a select handful like Gunrunner and Hackney Yard, but I don't even completely enjoy those maps either. They were just way more playable than the other base maps. I mean, Piccadilly, Ozir Cave, St. Petrograd. The list goes on of horrifying maps that just absolutely have no flow, tons of head glitches, tons of camping spots. It doesn't push players to try to be aggressive and rotate around the map or even play OBJs because everything is so awkwardly placed that even if you hop on a domination flag or a hardpoint or anything, there's about 5 windows that can completely beam you if they have a good AR that you can do nothing about. You're just directly in the middle of the open. These maps are god-awful. And it killed my experience with this game, and I made so many rants about this that they need to release more content. And every single update, every single battle pass that came out, they gave us like 1 or 2 6v6 maps, and then a ton of other content. I think at the beginning it was only like 1 6v6 maps. They did that, a 10v10 map, and then a ground war map. And I was just so furious when that first battle pass dropped, because I was ranting for days about the fact that there's no content in 6v6, and that they need to put focus in it. And then they give us 1 map for 6v6. And I'm just mind blown at how they're handling this situation when it comes to Call of Duty. And it seems like since they're going to keep the same battle pass system, you know, the free maps and the free content, they're going to do the same exact thing with Black Ops Cold War with barely having any content. Now, I'm not as worried with Black Ops Cold War as I am with Modern Warfare because of the specific fact that I already enjoy the map variety when it comes to Cold War. I can tolerate Miami more than Piccadilly. I actually kind of enjoy it the more I play it. Satellite, not really my favorite map. I can tolerate it though. Moscow, pretty fun map. Cartel, one of my favorite maps in the whole game there. Honestly, the map variety so far that we saw in the game is pretty decent, but that's already 4 out of the 8 maps. There's going to be 4 more maps that release at launch, and this will really determine if this game is going to be good or not. Because if over half of those maps that come with the launch are bad, this game is going to be in for a very, very, very rough time. Because we're not going to have any content. If all the maps are trash, and maps being some of the most important content in the video game, let's be honest here. Yes, we can have weapon balance. Yes, we can have perk balance. Yes, we can have tons of attachments and tons of different weapons and variety for the weapons with the gunsmith. Yes, all that stuff is very great and tons of camos and all that good stuff. But if the maps are not good, the single thing that we all play on, no matter what weapon we use, no matter what perks we use, we all play on the maps. If they are bad, the whole game is screwed. Literally, that is like the foundation of a Call of Duty video game. And if they can't handle to make good maps, it's going to be a horrible year. There's not going to be enough content to play on. And it's just going to be tons of people lobby shopping for the good maps instead of being able to play the full rotation of the maps. So just like in Modern Warfare, instead of it being like 7 to 8 really good maps that you can constantly play, which we would all be very interested in, there's only like, 2 to 3 good maps in Modern Warfare that we played with, which made it very boring because everybody just lobby shopped for the good maps. Some people forced themselves through the horrible maps. It was a very boring experience. So it made the good times on Modern Warfare a lot more limited. And the same thing is going to be with Black Ops Cold War. If they do not nail these maps, it might be like 2 to 3 good maps out of all the 8 of them, which means that it might be possibly 5 horrible maps, which is a much better chance of getting the 5 horrible maps compared to the 2 to 3 good maps in Black Ops Cold War. Now let's be honest here. Modern Warfare has had about a year of work done to it. Infinity Ward has put plenty of time into this game, clearly not to the fundamentals that I have personally been complaining about for this full year, so it still doesn't fit my taste buds. But clearly Infinity Ward had a vision for this game, and a lot of people do enjoy that vision, so they're not going to change any of the core aspects. But when it comes to content like maps, it has grown on me now. There's tons of variety and good maps placed in this game, regardless if it's, an Infinity Ward made map or if it's a remastered map. It's still tons of different content now that I don't have to be forced to play the horrible maps anymore. So in its current state, I enjoyed this video game, but it didn't start this way. And this is the problem with Black Ops Cold War. It will grow to be like Modern Warfare, where they keep adding in tons of new maps into the cycle. Regardless if they're remastered or new, there's going to be still tons of content in this game. But it might be a year down the road, and then we're going to spend the first 2 to 3 months of this video game, which is a long time, honestly, because let's be honest, the life cycle of Call of Duty, people start dropping off like around the 2-month mark sometimes, mostly around maybe 4 to 5 months in. But people drop off early. They're not going to be playing this game for that long, which means that people are going to have to suffer through the lack of content that Treyarch has given us in this game until a year down the road when maybe they can revisit and see how the game is turning out then. But that's way too much time. And the fact that all the 8 maps are spread across the board between 12v12 and 6v6, that's really scary as well, because that means that these maps were specifically made to work on 12v12 styles, not just 6v6. So we are once again going through the horrible cycle of a development team not worrying about the core 6v6 side of a video game and only focusing on trying to make sure that the game fits all game modes, which was another massive problem with Modern Warfare. To be honest with you guys, for both Modern Warfare and Black Ops Cold War, they should have definitely remastered a lot more maps in the beginning of the life cycle. Let's be honest here. I mean, even though I'm not a massive fan of that, you guys know how I am. I prefer to just mostly have newly created maps just because I like something refreshing and new. I want those old school vibes when I first played on Vacant, when I first played on Bog or Backlot, all those old school good feeling maps. And the reason why those maps are remastered in Modern Warfare are because they're so good, they're so rememberable. And I want to have that same feeling. I want them to be able to make something new, something that is unique. And I want them to make a map maybe 5 to 10 years down the road. Pray to God that Call of Duty can actually make it that long. But if it does, I would love to see those maps remastered in that time frame. It'll be really cool to see them make something unique. But at the end of the day, if you cannot put enough content in your video game, just remaster the maps and put them in at launch. I'd rather have a bunch of new maps being released in the battle passes and future DLC instead of having just a bunch of remastered maps coming into future DLC. If you guys don't have enough time to put in enough content, just remaster them and put them all in so 6v6 can at least have something to play on, because I don't want this game mode to die. I don't want everybody to jump ship to 12v12 and to Warzone over playing 6v6. I'm going to make a separate commentary for this. But it's just really depressing thinking of the fact that what made Call of Duty come alive is slowly dying away. But at the end of the day, guys, we just need some more content when it comes to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. 8 maps is not very much, especially with all the video games they have already made. They have tons of remasters to go back through with World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. Shoot, you can go back to Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4. Just bring anything in that is content. I understand that remastering a map is still work nonetheless, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's 10 times easier to just remaster a map. And unlike Infinity Ward, Treyarch usually never changes much. Like in Black Ops 4, all the remasters were pretty much copy and paste. So you would think that would be a lot easier to do that than having to start with a map from scratch. And like I said, I still understand it takes work to remaster a map. It's not easy. But it will be a lot easier for them to do that instead of starting from scratch and having to build from the ground up. They already have something there. But guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. By all means, if you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's two ways to do so. I have a Twitter and a Discord. Both those links are down in the description. And also, if you want to catch me live stream some video games, I do that over on Twitch. Link to that is in the description as well. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.